Kathy Brennan here, helping you to look better, feel better, and do better. This week's habit is make a habit of protecting your values. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, I'm not talking about protecting what you value, like your money or your car or your house. I'm talking about protecting what you value. So we all value different things, and it's great that we value different things. There's diversity, and it just makes life beautiful that we are so different. You might value things like relationships. It might be your top priority. You might value history. So many people get into history. You might value community, what happens within community. You might value personal growth. You might value honesty or politics or the arts or your free time. Some people value animals. Now, you might value all of those things, but what I want you to do is find out your top three. Figure out what really are your top three, because otherwise this gets overwhelming. So it's important to figure out what you value. And in the blog I'm posting on this on lookfeeldobetter.com, there's a couple links to resources, tests you can take to figure out what is it that I value. Again, just try to narrow it down. Otherwise, you're trying to protect everything, and that just it's too much. So when we figure out what we value, we'll spend time on that. Like, for example, if it's politics, you'll spend time on it. And your energy, let's say you value community, you'll spend your energy working to make a solid community. Or if it's money, it's you'll spend money to protect this and what you value. Like, let's say it's relationships, and it's a relationship you might spend money to travel to go see a friend, or you might spend money to go out to a restaurant that you wouldn't normally go out to, because that relationship is what you value. I'll give you an example. I value learning. Like, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I love to learn new things. And I was at a conference, and the second night of the conference, my roommate said, "Hey, Kathy, we're all going to the piano bar. Want to come with us?" Now, I love a good piano bar. It was dueling pianos. It sounded really fun. And I value learning. I knew that if I went out to the piano bar, I'd stay out too late, and I wouldn't be able to get up to see the first session in the morning. And conferences typically give you a knockout speaker right away in the morning because they want you there. So I said no to the piano bar, and I got myself a good sleep, and I did hear a knockout speaker the next morning. But that's just my value. That doesn't mean my roommates value to go out to the piano bar and build these relationships, that was wrong. And I'm not wrong. We just both have what we value. So why is this a good habit to protect your values? Why even look at this like a habit? Well, what we value brings fulfillment to our life. This is what makes life worth it. This is what we really want to do. So being intentional in knowing what you value and protecting that will give you a more fulfilling life. Second thing, just like our passwords or something of value, if we don't protect it, it can be stolen from us, or we can lose it. So if you value, again, relationships, and you don't even know that, or you're not spending your energy on it, suddenly your relationships are lost. The third thing, similar to being fulfilled, your life will be worthwhile. I one of my values, I'm going to talk about this too, is wellness. So I can't get much out of life. It can't be worthwhile if I'm unwell. And because I have been unwell, this is something I value highly. And you can ask anyone who's been through a medical crisis or mental emotional crisis like I was, or a spiritual crisis. That wellness, it rises to the top when you've lost it. So protecting our values makes our life worthwhile. And it preserves it for future generations. As we protect what we value, often we teach our children or our friends about those same values, and then it's preserved for future generations. I just ran into, or I was at a gathering with a young woman who's marrying a man from another culture, and they're going to incorporate some of that into their wedding ceremony. And so his heritage, his cultural heritage can be preserved for the future. That's beautiful. And when we're protecting what we value, it kind of gives us security and stability and reduces our stress, because we really are taking care of that which is really, really important and valuable to us. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, the main thing is figuring out what you value. Well, you know what? Before I do that, I want to just tell you my 3 values, just because I don't know. I value learning, like I said, growth. Learning and growth go together. Creativity and wellness. So wellness, the way I protect my wellness is taking care of my body, my mind, and my spirit. The way I take care of growth is I read and I listen to podcasts. I'm asking many, many questions. I'm very curious. That's how I preserve that value of growth. And then creativity is just, I see it everywhere, not just in art museums, but also in nature and in just ideas. Like I love to, I'm just very awed and inspired by things that are beautiful creations. So how can you form this habit of protecting your values? Again, first figure out what it is. This is so important. I think most people could not say their top 3 values. Well, if you can't say it, you can't protect it. You got to know what you're protecting. You got to know what's important to you. And I think often we just think, oh, it'll just come naturally. That might be true if you don't have anyone else in your life. The other people in our life make our life chaotic and disruptive and changing and different. And so it's just not natural because of the busyness of our life and because of the demands on our time and because of the amount of information that's out there. We won't just naturally protect what we value. We get distracted very often by other people, other things, other ideas, and it is your life, and this is my life. I'm responsible to protect what I value. And then allocate your resources. Again, time, money, energy. Spend your energy there. Don't spend your energy. If you value, for example, time with your family, and you end up spending all of your mental, emotional energy at work, and you come home and you cannot possibly give anything else to your kids and spouse or just even engage with them, you're not allocating your resources towards what you value, which is time with your family. And again, like, we all value time with our family. I don't think that's something unique. And you need to figure out if this is one of your top ones. Is this what you were, is this what you were put on this earth to do? And some people are and some people aren't. Some people, that's not the main thing their life is for. Now, we all want to be in relationship. Again, I'm not saying that this is like it's valuable or not. I'm just saying you have to figure out if this is your main one. Another way to create this habit is just find other people with similar values. This is what faith communities are about. You find all these people who value the same beliefs that you do. Or clubs, they're all around a purpose and a goal and a mission, and you have that same value. And again, I just want to go back to we all value many things. I just want those few that are especially important to you to rise to the top so that you can protect them. And then set boundaries around them, just about, along that line of being distracted. Set boundaries by saying, no, instead of doing this, I would rather do this because this is what I value. That's not what I value. And then care for what you value and protect it, just like you would if you had a laptop and it was valuable. You would care for it and protect it and take responsibility for that. It's the same with what we value. So make a habit of protecting your values. Be well.